Okay, so Pokémon just turned 30 and announced the next generation of games. Resident Evil Requiem launched and immediately broke every Steam record the franchise has ever had, and Sony might be quietly locking their best games back behind a PS5 paywall. If you thought this was going to be a slow news week, not even close. Let's get into it. Let's start with the big one. Resident Evil Requiem, RE9, is finally out. PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch 2. And the reception? Capcom is eating good right now. Within the first hour of launch on Steam, Requiem hit a peak of over 267,000 concurrent players, which, according to SteamDB, is the highest player count ever recorded for any game in the Resident Evil franchise. For context, RE4 Remake had a peak of around 168,000 concurrent players, which was already a series record at the time. Requiem blew past that by almost 100k players on day one. Some reports are even showing that figure climbing to over 319,000 by late afternoon, so the weekend numbers could be even more insane. On top of that, early Steam reviews are sitting at very positive, around 82 to 85% positive depending on when you're looking, so it's not just popular, people actually like it. For those not caught up, Requiem takes you back to the ruins of Raccoon City. You play as two characters, new protagonist Grace Ashcroft, an FBI analyst doing proper survival horror with limited resources and a terrifying stalker monster, and the returning legend, Leon S. Kennedy, whose sections are more action-focused. Think RE4 energy meets RE7 tension in the same game. You can also flip between first and third-person view at any time, which is a nice touch. On PC, there's full path tracing and advanced ray tracing support via NVIDIA DLSS. Physical copies apparently sold out at a number of stores at launch, which almost never happens anymore. This one's a hit. By the way, over 267,000 people showed up on day one just to spend time with Leon Kennedy. They're calling him Hot Uncle Leon online. I'm not making that up. The man has fans. Leon bro, you've made it. Now let's talk Pokémon, because February 27th is Pokémon Day every year, and this one is special. It marks exactly 30 years since Pokémon Red and Green launched in Japan in 1996, and the Pokémon Company did not show up empty-handed. The big headline from today's Pokémon Presents showcase, and I mean the headline, is that the Gen 10 games were officially announced. They're called Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves. Developed by Game Freak, exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2 with a worldwide simultaneous launch planned for 2027. The trailer showed off an open-world region built around windswept islands and a massive ocean. There are hints at underwater exploration, which if that's real, would be a first for a mainline Pokémon game. The art style looks noticeably more polished than Scarlet and Violet, which, let's be honest, had a rough time on Switch 1 hardware. Running this exclusively on Switch 2, the potential is there. We also got the 3 new starter Pokémon: Grass-type Route, a little bean chick bird; Fire-type Pombone, a fluffy puppy; and Water-type Gekwa, a blue gecko. The internet is already fighting over who's the best starter, which is a great sign that the starters are actually good. Gekwa is adorable, and anyone who disagrees is wrong. I said what I said. Beyond Winds and Waves, there was a lot more in the Pokémon Presents. Pokémon Fire Red and Leaf Green are available right now on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. The classic GBA versions, playable today via the eShop. Pokémon X-Ju, Gale of Darkness, the 2005 GameCube game, is coming to Nintendo Switch Online's GameCube library in March. Pokémon Champions, the battle-focused game, now has an official launch window of April 2026 on Nintendo Switch, with mobile coming later this year. And if you're into TCG Pocket, new Paldean Wonders pack content is live as of today. Pokémon's 30th anniversary also comes with a physical collector's item, a miniature Game Boy-style music player loaded with 45 tracks from Pokémon Red and Green, swappable cartridges. It's the kind of thing that's going to sell out fast and end up on eBay for triple the price. This one dropped yesterday and it's been making waves, pun slightly intended. According to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, who spoke on the Triple Click podcast, Sony may be pulling back on releasing its major single-player PlayStation exclusives on PC. Schreier was pretty direct about it. He said the sense he's getting is that Sony is backing away from putting its exclusive single-player titles on PC. Think the God of War series, Ghost of Tsushima sequels, that kind of thing. live service games like Helldivers 2 would still come to PC, because those need big player bases to survive. But your traditional story-driven PlayStation games, that PC window could be closing. He later confirmed on Reset Era that this was not speculation. He also specifically named Marvel's Wolverine, which is targeting a September 2026 release, as a title that may never come to PC at all. Two other well-known industry sources, Sneakers SO and The Teeth Hate, has backed the report as well. The reasoning makes sense from Sony's perspective. PC ports were never day one launches. They were always 12 to 18 months late, and Sony's own exec acknowledgements suggest PC revenue wasn't moving the needle the way they'd hoped. Keeping big single-player games console exclusive gives PS5 a stronger value proposition, especially with Microsoft moving in the opposite direction and putting everything on everything. There's no official confirmation from Sony yet, so take it for what it is, a very credible insider report, not a done deal. But if this holds, PC gamers who've been waiting on Ghost of Yotei or a potential Last of Us Part 3 may want to start looking at a PS5. Sony looked at their PC sales numbers, looked at Helldivers 2 printing money, and said, yeah, the multiplayer stuff can go everywhere. The rest of you? Come to our place. The PlayStation exclusivity era might be back, folks. Alright, quick hits to round things out. Tales of Berseria Remastered is out today on PS5, Xbox Series X, S, Switch, and PC. If you missed the original 2016 JRPG, this is a great entry point. It's got a strong story, solid combat, and all the original DLC is bundled in. $40. Summer Game Fest 2026 is officially happening. Jeff Keighley confirmed it returns this summer with new game announcements. No specific date announced yet, but mark your calendars for around June. And on the Switch 2 side, the Disney Afternoon Collection launched on February 26th, bringing back classics like DuckTales, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, and Tailspin, with some modern upgrades. If you're a fan of that era of Disney gaming, it's a solid pickup. That's everything for today. Genuinely one of the more packed 48-hour windows in gaming news we've had in a while, between a record-breaking RE launch, the 30th anniversary of Pokémon, and a potentially massive shift in Sony's platform strategy. There's a lot to process. Drop a comment. Which starter are you picking in Pokémon Winds and Waves? And are you worried about Sony locking their games back to PS5 only? Let me know below. If you found this useful, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.